What is up, YouTube? This is Libertarian on Wheels, and today we're going to discuss some of the things I think are fundamental to liberty, mainly liberty and the non-aggression principle. To some of you, this may be quite a tired case that a lot of libertarians, anarcho-capitalists, and other proponents make, but I think it's important to keep the discussion going, even if I am beating a panting and almost dead horse. So, liberty and non-aggression. Liberty as a concept is rooted in the idea that you, as a free, non-coerced being, own yourself, and therefore no entity or other person or group reserves any justifiable right to coerce you, bend you to their will, etc., etc. And I think one of the things that so many people misconstrue about libertarianism, anarcho-capitalism, and any other brand of individualism out there that is being espoused is that somehow to maximize liberty is also a license to do whatever one feels they can do. You must, under the non-aggression principle, some might say, it's okay to, it must be okay to steal somebody's identity because you're not physically aggressing against them. No. That is fundamentally, that is not a proper application of the NAP, because for you to be able to steal someone's identity, you're still aggressing against their person and property simultaneously. So you are indeed violating the NAP when you steal a person's identity. So theft is most certainly a violation of the non-aggression principle, which is a fundamental tenet, as I've said, of libertarianism on a broad scale. So, I'd like to talk a little more about the NAP. It has its roots in this idea that if no one is coercing, if someone is being coerced against their will, it is unjustified, especially if they are secure in their person and their property, and someone just comes along and takes from them, or forces them, bends them to some imagined will of the collective or whatever you might think of. So the NAP is I think has to be the fundamental starting point of any discussion on liberty, ethics, morality, virtue, what have you, because the NAP is it's the ultimate license of self-ownership, natural law, and things of that nature. Natural law basically says that anything that is not a criminal, that does not victimize another person, should be permissible. So therefore, I would personally ascribe to drugs being legal, prostitution should be legal. I don't care whether someone wants to sexually identify as an elephant on a tricycle or a male or whatever. Natural law is the only justifiable law that needs to be enforced, because natural law is the law of self-ownership. It is the law of individuals to own themselves and therefore own the effects of their actions. And I think when we talk about liberty and we talk about self-ownership, there's some fundamental misconceptions that I'll get to in another video at some point. But I just want to take a few seconds here and just explain my own personal view of anarcho-capitalism and libertarianism in general, because I am indeed an anarcho-capitalist. Now, the minute I say I'm an anarcho-capitalist, the skeptics and and the fangs come out, and oh, you want to ban everything, you want to ban police, you want to ban courts, you want to ban the military. No. I want to privatize all that. And that's what any rational anarcho-capitalist would tell you. We don't want to take away any protective service that is out there today. We just want to privatize them. And yes, for my socialist friends, for my communist friends who may or may not watch this video, yes, profit will be made, but profit is not, and I repeat, it is not a evil. It is the natural consequence of someone's labor. You make a profit after you provide a service, or you expend a certain amount of your labor and you make a profit from that. That is just a natural cause, a natural cycle of economic production and value on a large scale. So I want to take a few seconds though and talk about some of the skepticism that comes with libertarianism and more specifically anarcho-capitalism, because in an anarcho-capitalist system there would of course be no taxes, because there would be no government to take the taxes. And I honestly believe with all my heart that taxation is theft, and the state exists through means of aggression. The state violates the non-aggression principle outright. And so if we had a system that was entirely operating on the free market, and there were no taxes, then consumers and individuals alike, or all together, could take that money that they would have given to the government and they can use it toward services and goods that they want or need, and you could donate to a charity that helps the poor and all that. So I think in a truly free market, everybody will benefit. The poor would benefit, the wealthy would generate more wealth, and for those who talk about income inequality, there's no way to slice it to where it is actually equal on the monetary level, because somebody somewhere will always have more. And this video is sloppy, I understand that. I'm brand new to YouTube. I will try my best to edit some of this, maybe add a little flair in the background, but I wanted to just talk about liberty and non-aggression in this video, and I kind of veered off. I tend to do that. I'm very sorry. But yeah, the non-aggression principle is fundamental to self-ownership, because it grounds you within your rights as an individual, but it also grounds everyone else in society within their rights as individuals to not be violated. And natural law deals with those laws that basically assert, rather rightly, that individuals should and do, until they violate, they should and do possess the right to self-ownership, and thus will reap the consequences of their choices and actions. And the non-aggression principle, when it is applied universally, is consistent. It says no person anywhere. I will reiterate. The non-aggression principle says simply, no person or group has the right to initiate force against another. This encompasses identity theft, fraud, robbery, murder, rape, torture, assault, plunder. All of these negative things violate the non-aggression principle and are therefore illegitimate behaviors. So I think just as a basic intro to libertarianism, you own yourself, and no outside force, no other person, no force on the outside possesses any justifiable right to aggress against you. And liberty is the autonomy and freedom to make decisions and act on them and own the consequences of those actions as a whole. And while I'm on here, I will embed a link. I live in the Atlanta area, and I have a very good friend who is doing her best to start her own company to raise awareness for special needs adults. She is indeed working on getting a group home together for certain individuals with disabilities. I myself have cerebral palsy and am indeed a special needs adult, and I want to raise as much awareness of this as possible, and so I will embed a link for you guys to follow her on Facebook, and I will also embed a link if you are in the Atlanta area or you just want to check her out, see what she's all about. Go to her Facebook page, it's in the description, and look into her. The company is called MakeAWay. That is MakeAWay. And what she will end up doing is providing care and service to those with special needs in the Atlanta area that we are a part of. So I think you guys should really check that out, and if you can donate, that'd be great. If you could just pass the word on, that would also be great. I love you guys, and to all my fellow men out there, I love you. Pursue liberty, pursue love, be at peace, and peace, love, and liberty, guys. See you later.